Hey guys, this is Richard at Ryden's Room and doing my latest video for showing my love for the Lord of the Rings movies. Amazon have just released their trailer for their TV series that starts later this year. Don't think much of the trailer to be honest, but really I'm not the biggest fan of the second age of Middle Earth. Suppose before I start, spoilers, so Amazon's, which is covering the second age, and then of course the Lord of the Rings, which is the third age. So yeah, second age, I like the Silmarillion, good book, but as much as I love reading the appendices and Lord of the Rings, watching all the bonus features on the DVDs and Blu-rays, second age just didn't appeal to me that much. There's a lot of good stuff in there, and I'll probably will pick up Silmarillion again, give it another go, but nah, it just didn't bother me that much, and Amazon trailer didn't really do too much for me either, so no, yeah, hopefully it's a good one. Hobbit didn't exactly end as I hoped it would. It didn't quite top the Lord of the Rings. Hopefully, the Amazon Rings of Power will be at the level of Peter Jackson movies and the book, but who knows? But yeah, really, because they've done their trailer, I thought discuss my favourite movie trilogy all the time, which is the Lord of the Rings. This will just be the Fellowship of the Ring. Otherwise, this video will go on for ages. I had some feedback from my friends and subscribers. Yeah, I get it. My videos go on too long. I ramble on way too much. I'm sure it puts a lot of people off. Like a 15-minute video, it could be 8 minutes. I'm trying to keep them shorter. So yeah, just for the next few days, just doing one on each one. So this one will be for the Fellowship of the Ring, which is the Blu-ray for the extended version. Here's my Blu-ray set. And yeah, first of all, extended ones, they're the ways to go. Nothing wrong with the originals, of course. No, my very first DVD was Fellowship of the Ring back in 2002, and I bought my PS2. Loved it. Of course, back in August 2002, there was no extended edition, but when one came out later, a lot of my friends were just raving about it, saying, get the extended ones. And so it's back at age 17, I didn't have loads of cash, so couldn't really just buy a new DVD anytime I wanted. So I eventually picked them up. I still bought the theatricals, but then once I got hold of the extended ones, there's no going back, especially in Return of the King, but I'll get to that later. This is just about the Fellowship of the Ring. So, yeah, again, Lord of the Rings book. In fact, my original Lord of the Rings book, don't have any more, but that was actually the movie tie-in version. It was the cover with the Nazgul chasing Frodo when he's on horseback with Arwen, which is a pretty cool cover. But a few years ago, I thought I'd get rid of it, pick up a nice new copy, and yeah, this looks really nice. I know you can buy them individually, Fellowship, Two Towers, Return of the King, but I just like the whole thing in one go. It made reading that tough. But yeah, as long as you don't wreck the book up too much or anything, it's fine. But I didn't really want to have them in separate volumes. So, as he does say in his book, it's one story just in 3 parts, so it kind of makes sense to have it as just the big, massive book. I mean, how many pages is it? Yeah, nearly 1,200 pages, and that's just that version. But yeah, I'm not really in this. This is really just like my thoughts on the movie. I'm not going to really talk about the book in this one. Maybe in a future video I'll go in, characters missing, etc. But I suppose I should quickly bring this up. There will be spoilers for Lord of the Rings. Let's just say up to Lord of the Rings. I might mention The Hobbit and Silmarillion a bit here, but it's mainly going to be Fellowship of the Ring. So yeah, Lord of the Rings. This is just the film again. So absolutely loved it. Favourite movie trilogy, definitely. Much as I love the Star Wars original trilogy, I suppose I didn't really grow up with that. I saw them in 1997 when those special editions came to cinemas and picked them and the videos up. And then, of course, DVDs in 04. Whereas Lord of the Rings, 2001, 2, 3, I'd have been 16, 17, 18. So perfect age. All my friends love Lord of the Rings. And I'm going to Harry Potter later. But yeah, in 2001, Fellowship of the Ring was the cool movie. Hobbit. Harry Potter was not. I eventually got into it. It's a fun story for another time, as they say in my least favourite Star Wars movies, but I'll get to that event one day. But yeah, this is just Fellowship of the Ring. Absolutely loved it. You got the opening with the massive battle that Galadriel narrates. Elrond's in there, and of course it's he's one of the elves thousands of years ago, and they still look the same. No offense to Hugo Weaving, but I've always been surprised that as great as an actor he is, well, just look at the elves that appear throughout the films. Men and women are all supremely good looking. I'm sure Hugo Weaving was when he was younger, but it does seem strange that, how old was he? 40s in 2001? They've definitely got, great actor again, but a guy in his 40s playing one of the top elves makes sense. But when all the other elves, even if the actors are older, like Kate Blanchett, Liv Tyler, it does seem strange that he looks a lot older. But I guess what can you do? Maybe he's just like the oldest elf by a long way, or maybe he just happens to have aged 2 notes. But it doesn't really matter. But, great character. But yeah, seeing that big battle at the beginning, the men and elves united, they're winning till Sauron shows up, and it's a bit like other moments. The villain shows up, and they'll all no, they lose. They're gonna lose. Once the main bad guy shows up, but of course, nope, it goes wrong. For some reason, he doesn't just, I don't know, behead Isildur or something. He ends up trying to strangle him to death. Use magic on him with his hand. I never ever got that, but yeah, he gets his hand cut off. Him and his forces destroyed, and there's peace, but Isildur keeps the ring, and then of course you get that's kind of the main theme. People want the power the ring gives them rather than just do what's right and get rid of it, and of course that's running throughout the whole series really. And of course you've got like the hobbits who are like, Frodo seems the least tempted of all to take the ring for himself. Of course, by the time he's had the ring for a long time, you probably lose that purity to him. Same sort of thing if any other hobbit gets hold of it. Bilbo's good character, quite pure. He's not like evil or anything. I mean, that's the thing. What can the ring really offer a hobbit? They're not gonna like suddenly run across the fields of Morgoth with a flaming sword. What can they really get? So it makes sense that hobbits are kind of immune, I suppose you could think of it that way, to the effects of the ring. Although, of course, there's one hobbit-like person who wasn't. That maybe was a bad guy all along. Who knows? But yeah, obviously you've got ring goes to Bilbo, then Frodo. Frodo is definitely resistant to the effects of the ring, but to a limit. It's got its powers. It can still try and corrupt him or make its way back to his master, which is the main thing the ring wants. And yeah, absolutely loved it. Watching Frodo, probably like the best of all people, gradually start changing throughout it, but of course that's going to kick in much later. Then you've got all the other characters. Aragorn, he is offered the ring by Frodo, doesn't take it, he doesn't want it because he's like that good, that pure of heart, and of course even if he is scared of ending up like his famous ancestor. Then you get Boromir, the one who's most hit by it. Again, I hear people criticize Boromir all the time. He's such a bad guy, he tries to steal the ring from Frodo. He does, but he's not wanting the ring for himself to become this like master swordsman or god. He wants to effectively do anything to protect his people, because it's easy to forget that Gondor is the closest like major city to Sauron's kingdom. So of course his people are the ones that are gonna suffer the most. And yeah, you kind of get Boromir seems like the villain for how the ring works magic on him and brings out his worst side. But yeah, when you really think about it, Boromir is a really good person. He's just doing that because he just, like I said, just wants to protect his people. It's quite sad how Boromir does do the worst thing, but you can understand where he's coming from. I mean, it would probably never happen with, I don't know, Legolas, Gimli, the other hobbits. Or even the biggest danger is really Gandalf. What if he got the ring? And you see in Sauron what he became when he wanted the ring, and if Gandalf actually got hold of it, yeah, he'd do good. He'd set out to do good, but of course he wouldn't. In the end, he'd keep doing the wrong things, believing it's a just cause. So yeah, you've got obviously all these characters. Gimli, it doesn't really do so much, of course. Although it's quite cool that the first thing he does when he sees the ring is try to destroy it. Everyone says the ring must be destroyed. Okay, and his axe just shatters. I love the look in his face when that happens. So yeah, it's a really good story, seeing effectively how ultimately facing evil, you fight against it, etc. And yeah, absolutely love it. Yeah, Lord Fellowship of the Ring kind of has it all, and there's moments in Fellowship of the Ring I thought it was the best movie. I mean, to be honest, for years I thought Return of the King Extended Edition, but Fellowship was second. Two Towers is great, but I always thought it was the weakest one overall. But Fellowship of the Ring, it's got so much, it sets such an amazing story up. You've got all these characters introduced. You've got as before they start changing, like you've got Saruman, he seems a bit sinister at the beginning, but you don't really know what he's like. But he's not like pure evil just on the spot. I mean, yeah, obviously he's like been changing before the film started, when the thoughts of getting the ring. The Hobbit movie kind of adds a bit of extra layers to it. But yeah, it's kind of good that Sauron doesn't just start off instantly bad. Gandalf trusts him. It's the wrong decision. Then you start seeing the beginning of what Saruman does. So yeah, he's obviously does the wrong things repeatedly, and yeah, he's the main villain of the movie, I guess, because Sauron is kind of just an eye. Obviously, it's just the form he's taking, but he's an eye at the moment. He's not really a pure physical threat. And then you get his orcs. Saruman has his Urukai. And of course, you get some good moments. You get like plenty of one-on-one sword fights. You get Aragorn v the Urukai leader, which is pretty cool. What are the other like things? Yeah. Oh, Gandalf and a Hobbit. You know, you've got plenty of Gandalf and Frodo scenes. This kind of carries over to part 3 when it becomes Gandalf and Pippin. That's kind of something Two doesn't really have. Yeah, Gandalf isn't really with any hobbits throughout the movie at all. It's just little scenes like that. You know, Gandalf talking to Frodo about, you know, choosing mercy, not wishing death on people. Similar something with Pippin when he's about not being afraid of death when it looks like the Gondor soldiers are all going to lose. And just things like that. I just think like there's so many great little moments that Two Towers didn't really have compared to Fellowship and Return of the King. But no, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're all amazing films. Just Fellowship and Return of the King, especially extended versions, more 10 out of 10. So Two Towers is just a 9 out of 10. Just a 9 out of 10. That's still absolutely amazing. I just think it's the weakest. But Helm's Deep's amazing. Again, I'll get into that for the next video. But yeah, overall, I loved Fellowship of the Ring. It's what a movie to start off with. And it got me into the book because I probably wouldn't have, I don't know, I probably would have eventually read Lord of the Rings, but not for a long time. Maybe when I just would have picked up recommendations, etc. But no, they did an outstanding job with those movies, and yeah, absolutely loved them. So you've got the whole thing. You know, it all starts quite nicely. The journey to destroy the ring and how it just ultimately tears everyone apart. You know, miserable Frodo becomes by the end. Yeah, it's quite a shame, but he's got good friendships. You know, Boromir does the wrong thing, but redeems himself somewhat in the end. Aragorn is always trying to do the right thing. Gandalf as well. You got you know, set pieces like the Moria sequence when the Balrog shows up. The good sequence, and just again so many little like amazing individual moments come to me. Like the bit when Gandalf falls to his death, and there's just this look on Legolas's face that he just doesn't know how to deal with what's happened. I mean, I assumed at that moment Legolas has killed plenty of orcs before Fetch the Ring, but losing one of your friends is different. I get a feeling that that's never, like, Legolas has never experienced that, and yeah, that was like a nice little touch. And Aragorn him to become the leader thing he keeps trying to avoid all throughout his life because he's scared of ending up like Isildur, or even he must have had other bad ancestors as well. And yeah, I just loved it. So overall, Fellowship of the Ring, great movie, great action sequences. Feels a bit more small scale than what comes. I mean, when you got Helm's Deep and Pelennor Fields in films 2 and 3, it's really just the smaller battles in the mines, and then by the river where Frodo and Sam leave. It's a much smaller scale, but I like it. It's got a good like smaller scale feel to it, but more like it is the beginning, but things are gonna get bigger and have much more stakes later. But yeah, great movie, and I could do it all over again. In fact, last year it was I think it was the Easter bank holiday, or maybe the year before, we did watch all of them. Fellowship on Friday, Two Towers Saturday, and because Return of the King is so long, we split over 2 nights there. Could I do it again anytime? Yeah, but at the moment I'm watching for other movies. So yeah, that's it. That's just my thoughts on Fellowship of the Ring. Great movie, 10 out of 10. And I'll do another one soon on Two Towers. Thank you. Bye.